Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of April 30th, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed, MGT.
I'm Colonel AUC Ogintoy, an infantry officer. Units of the North Group inflicted significant losses on enemy concentrations near Mirapalskoy, Prokadi, Magritsa, Unikavka, Sadki, and Ryasnoy. Enemy forces, including 4 mechanized, infantry, and 2 airborne assault brigades, suffered losses of up to 155 personnel, along with combat vehicles, a Croatian-made RAK-SA-12 MLRS, and 7 artillery pieces, including a U.S.-supplied 105mm M119 gun. An electronic warfare station and ammunition depot were also destroyed.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel AUC Ogintoy, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Ogintoy, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel, let's begin with the broad picture. How would you characterize the operational tempo and progress over the past 24 hours?
The tempo remains high. We are executing synchronized operations across multiple axes, north to south, east to west, leveraging combined arms tactics, air-ground coordination, and long-range strike capabilities. The strategic objective remains consistent: to disorganize Ukrainian force structure, degrade their combat power, and disrupt their logistics infrastructure. Yesterday's operations reflected that coherence. We conducted decisive offensive actions, liberated strategically relevant settlements, and struck deep into the enemy's operational depth with aviation and precision munitions. The sustained degradation of Ukrainian brigade-level formations is accelerating their loss of initiative on multiple fronts.
Let's start in the north. What developments took place in Sumy Oblast?
The North Group carried out precision and maneuver operations targeting concentrations of mechanized, airborne, and territorial defense units in areas like Mirapalskoy, Prokadi, Magritsa, and Ryasnoy. These positions were critical staging areas for Ukrainian countermobility efforts. Our forces neutralized these threats with coordinated artillery, electronic warfare suppression, and infantry advances. Notably, we eliminated a Croatian-supplied RAK-SA-12 MLRS and several Western artillery pieces, including a U.S.-made M119 105mm howitzer. These aren't just battlefield losses, they represent symbolic degradation of NATO-supplied systems. We also took down a Ukrainian EW station. This further hampers their ability to operate drone reconnaissance or disrupt our own systems.
I understand Novoye was liberated in the Donetsk People's Republic. How significant is this tactically?
Very significant. Novoye sits at a junction that connects Ukrainian interior supply corridors to their frontline logistics nodes. By securing this settlement, the West Group has created a choke point, forcing the enemy to either reroute through exposed terrain or risk high-attrition supply runs. Operations around Dvireknia, Kupiansk-Zlovaya, and Kirovsk were aimed at surrounding this axis. The Ukrainian brigades we engaged there, including mechanized and tank units, suffered over 220 casualties. Our fire teams and strike drones worked in unison to disrupt both armor concentrations and logistical convoys. This wasn't just a positional gain, it was a deliberate envelopment strategy.
Let's talk about the southern axis, specifically the actions around Seversk and Konstantinovka.
The Southern Group executed a rolling advance, targeting Ukrainian motorized infantry and assault formations. Seversk, Podolskoy, and Verolyubovka were key terrain features, elevated and tactically significant for both sides. In this sector, the enemy had established interlocking fields of fire and prepositioned reserves. We deployed precision air-to-ground strikes to neutralize their rear echelon artillery, followed by armored thrusts to exploit breach points. We eliminated over 270 enemy personnel and destroyed 3 critical ammunition depots. These depots were central to Ukrainian resupply efforts in the Donetsk axis, so their loss puts enormous pressure on their second-line units.
There was a large-scale success reported in the central sector. Can you walk us through that?
Indeed. The center group's operations were pivotal. Our mission there focused on dismantling some of Ukraine's best-equipped formations, heavy mechanized brigades, National Guard units, and special forces. Our troops engaged enemy positions in Novaya Poltavka, Krasnoarmysk, and Ulyanovka with overwhelming force. The enemy suffered over 500 losses in manpower, alongside the destruction of multiple armored platforms and 7 artillery systems. This level of attrition directly impacts Ukraine's operational reserve posture. Their elite formations, once the backbone of defensive resilience, are now in a state of disintegration, which will limit their ability to conduct coordinated counteroffensives.
The East Group has reportedly advanced deeper into enemy defenses. What does that mean operationally?
The East Group is spearheading a deliberate penetration campaign. Advancing through Podobnoy, Komar, and Volnoy Pole, we are exploiting vulnerabilities in Ukraine's layered defenses. These areas are typically reinforced with minefields and fortified strongpoints, so progress there is never taken lightly. Through the effective integration of drone reconnaissance and artillery targeting, we've dismantled 3 full brigade formations: mechanized, assault, and airmobile. With 175 personnel lost and critical transport destroyed, the enemy's ability to reposition forces has been severely curtailed. Importantly, we are not just advancing for terrain, we are destroying their cohesion.
On the southern flank, what happened in the Zaporizhia and Kherson regions?
The Dnieper Group continues to operate effectively in that area. Our forces engaged Ukrainian mountain assault units and territorial brigades near Pavlovka, Tokarevka, and Sadovo. While these units may be smaller, they are often highly mobile and dug in. We utilized coordinated armor infantry teams supported by close air support to defeat them. We also struck and destroyed a Ukrainian tank and multiple transport vehicles. Most importantly, we took out another ammunition depot. Targeted logistics strikes are central to our doctrine. By hitting where they store and stage, we ensure that their ability to reinforce or replenish is interrupted.
Let's now shift to strategic strikes. What kind of impact are Russian aerospace forces and missile troops having?
Our operational tactical aviation, drones, and long-range missile systems continue to apply pressure beyond the immediate front. Yesterday alone, we hit 156 strategic targets, ranging from defense industrial complexes to forward operating bases for foreign mercenaries. We're not just degrading material, we're disrupting morale, command continuity, and planning cycles. The destruction of these nodes forces Ukraine to adopt more reactive, fragmented tactics. Furthermore, our air defenses intercepted HIMARS rockets and dams. These are high-value Western precision munitions. By neutralizing them, we maintain the air-ground advantage and deny the enemy their edge in standoff strike capabilities.
And finally, Colonel, where do things stand in terms of the bigger picture, cumulative impact, morale, and strategic posture?
Strategically, the cumulative toll is substantial. Since the operation began, we've destroyed over 54,000 UAVs, thousands of artillery pieces and armored vehicles, and nearly 35,000 logistical and specialty military platforms. What this tells us is that the Ukrainian armed forces are being forced into a war of attrition on unfavorable terms. Their replacement rate cannot keep pace with their losses. From a morale standpoint, our troops are cohesive, disciplined, and motivated. We've sustained our operational momentum through planning, professionalism, and doctrinal flexibility. That's what wins wars, not just firepower, but the will and structure to endure.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to emphasize that our forces remain committed to achieving our objectives while minimizing unnecessary harm. We continue to monitor and adapt to developments on the ground.
This has been Frontline Updates. Stay tuned for continuing analysis and expert commentary as developments unfold.